Today, before us, stands a monument representing the gunpowder-scented winds of 1984, the mystic curse of ancient Egypt, and the pinnacle of British heavy metal, Powerslave. Tonight, we return to that golden age when Iron Maiden brought the world to its knees with the World Slavery Tour, and Bruce Dickinson's voice reached the stratosphere. Prepare yourselves, because this is not a musical recital. It is the anatomy of history's greatest metal operation.
The lyrical texture of the album leaps from the dusty pages of history and strikes us in the face. While we enter the dogfights of World War II with Aces High, we look at the Cold War's nuclear doomsday clock with 2 minutes to midnight. But the real magic is hidden in the title track, Powerslave. Describing a pharaoh's desire for immortality and his enslavement to power, this lyrical structure proves that Maiden doesn't just make noise, but that they are also storytellers. And of course, Samuel's immortal poem, Rime of the Ancient Mariner. For 13 minutes, we are stranded on a ship, feeling the curse of the albatross in our veins. This isn't just lyrics, it's an epic literature lesson.
The Powerslave era was a period when the band pushed their physical and mental limits. The World Slavery Tour lasted exactly 331 days and spanned the globe with 187 concerts. This tour certified that Maiden was no longer just a band, but a global phenomenon. The references are immense. That famous yellow-lit stage design from 1984, combined with ancient Egyptian aesthetics, created the most iconic visual identity in metal history. Looking at the band's history, this album is the definitive breaking point, where they completely broke away from the punk-inspired ferocity of the Paul Di'Anno era and took on a progressive and epic structure. Under Steve Harris's leadership, Maiden declared its own empire with this album.
The legendary Martin Birch is at the production desk. That clarity and power in the mix is a miracle for 80s technology. Steve Harris's famous galloping bass technique crushes our ears like a cavalry unit. The twin guitar harmonies of Dave Murray and Adrian Smith practically dance in that long instrumental section in the middle of Powerslave. Nico McBrain's impossible rhythms, written with a single pedal technique, are the engine of this machine. Looking at the song's anatomy, that silence in the middle of Rime of the Ancient Mariner and the explosion that follows is a lesson in how dynamic range should be used. In this album, the mix is as clean as a battlefield, where every instrument finds its own space. And those legendary 13 minutes? Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Samuel Taylor Coleridge's poem comes to life again with Harris's bass guitar. Can you hear the creaking of the floorboards and that eerie silence in the middle of the song? Those are the footsteps of progressive metal. Steve Harris's right hand is the locomotive of this album. That famous gallop rhythm dominates every second of Powerslave. The bass guitar here is not just an accompanying instrument, but a standard bearer leading armies. Harris is writing an epic with his fingers. In conclusion, Powerslave is one of the most perfect, magnificent, and durable works not only of Iron Maiden, but of all music history. From 1984 to today, the echo of those pyramids still vibrates in stadiums. This album is proof of how a band becomes legendary and how they don't leave the stage even when exhausted. Maiden rewrote the rules of metal with this album. So, what is the peak of this album for you? Is it the relentless fade of Aces High, or the 13-minute Rime of the Ancient Mariner epic? I invite you to discuss this massive legacy in the comments.